Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another week of me trying to be profitable and earn a payout. And this week was a real tiring week. Been on the grind with a bunch of responsibilities, but just gonna keep thugging it out and keep taking the best trades I can and improving myself and learning from these trades. And also working to bring you guys that quality content each week. And it's been quite a hectic week this week with uni and work and all the assignments due, so gonna keep this a bit brief and get straight into the trades. So for today, what I was looking at was price showing some bearish signs with this 1 hour order block being broken through and this changing state delivery forming pretty strongly. And we were retesting this 4 hour inverse fair value gap for bullish guys, so I did have somewhat of a rough idea for what could occur, but I wanted to wait till market developed a bit further before taking action. Looking in on the below time frame, we were retesting some bullish confluences like this 15-minute order block and 5-minute fair value gap, and I wanted to wait to see the reaction off of this level as it will determine what I go for today. Coming into the setup, we were accumulating for a bit on the 1 minute before getting a shift to the buy side and breaking through this 5-minute fair value gap, and the break held pretty strongly and price ended up getting another great shift to the buy side on the 1 minute, which made me decide to mark it into a long. And price did just pop straight up for the setup, so I was feeling pretty confident, and because of that I moved my stop loss to break even. Price did start stalling for a little bit near my target, but with the help of macro volatility my target was hit for a nice profit of 350. And for what I could have done better for the setup, I think I played this trade out pretty well today, maybe getting a better grasp for the contract sizing as I did initially calculate my risk for the snipe entry, but after price got that shift I marketed for 15 contracts as I thought that was roughly how much I wanted to risk, but turns out it was only around half I wanted to risk, so oops. But still, I'm really happy with how I played it today. Alright, so for today the high time was quite abundant in balances, so I wanted to get a better read of the overall trend and currently made imbalances. Price was moving bullish in the moment, though we were retesting into a 1 hour fair value gap for bearish and respecting a 1 hour order block. We came off of respecting the daily fair value gap, so the in the moment play seemed quite bullish, and looking at the low time we were starting to trend lower after price had retested the 1 hour fair value gap, though we could see this as a retracement into the 1 hour order block, and price had retested the 15-minute order block within the 1 hour plus 4 hour order block, and we also had a wicks to the sell side from this move down, which swept out the recent lows. Price did also form respecting this 15-minute order block, so I could see price moving higher, but I want to wait for a shift on the 1 minute before going for a setup. And going into the setup, price ended up getting a big pump up after price got a 1 minute shift and also respected a 1 minute order block. I was considering taking the setup as it aligned with the high time frame plus low time frame balances we spoke about earlier, though the shift wasn't strong enough for me, so I wanted more confirmation. Price did end up providing that confirmation, but we just kept moving higher without a retracement, so I wasn't able to catch the setup. It was only after price swept out the prominent draw on liquidity that we ended up stalling for a bit, and price got a retracement into the 5-minute breaker developed from the move higher and the 1 minute fair value gap. We did get a bullish reaction on these imbalance overlaps retests, so I took the setup with confidence, as we did also have the prior confirmations and low LRLs to the buy side. The setup was A+ to me, though price did end up stalling and market open hit shortly after, with the volatility giving us a huge wave down, stopping me out for a loss of 220. And for what I could have done better, the setup was confirmed, but the optimal trade and entry I could have taken in relation to these confluences had already played out in the pre-market. Since I missed out on the setup, I shouldn't have continued going for the same thing, especially after price started stalling from sweeping the draw on liquidity. I could have trusted in the plan more and what price was showing me to take the setup initially. It was honestly a pretty good setup, and it was because I had expectations or fears and made me decide to miss out on the setup, which was my bad at the end of the day. I have to build more confidence and play aggressive if everything is respected and according to the plan. But yeah, that's about it for today, so we'll just move on to tomorrow. Going into today, we were retesting this clear overlap of a 4 hour plus 1 hour fair value gap, which was a strong level which I can see testing further. Overall, we were currently trending bearish, with price developing a 1 hour order block for bearish from this recently developed candle, and I do want to wait and see for a clearer move on the low time frame, since we did also have a wick sweep, which does show potential for a reversal. And on the low time frame, we're getting some indication for an up move as well, with price inversing this recent 5-minute fair value gap and currently retesting it. And we weren't at our optimal trading time just yet, so I was going to wait and see how price looked closer to that time, and if it was continuing with this bullish trend, then I may consider taking it. And for the setup, I was thinking of taking a setup during pre-market after we got that 1 minute shift from respecting the 5-minute order block, as it was the confirmations I needed and it was a really good setup. The price ended up just running further and I didn't calculate my size in time to capitalize on the setup. My price did run really nicely to the buy side. We wouldn't have hit my full TP, but we would have gotten really close with us hitting our partial, which were some low time frame equal highs. Since I missed out on this move, I moved on and waited till past market open, where we inversed some 5-minute confluences like this fair value gap. We got a 1-minute shift as well and retested the 1-minute order block and confirmed the respect of the imbalances. Since this was confirmed, we also inversed those confluences on the 5-minute, and I was happy to take the setup. Their price did end up just coming down to stop me out for a loss of 250. For what I could have done better, I could have just reacted and took the setup with confidence during pre-market after it was confirmed, as I do have a rough idea for the contract sizing, but since I wanted to be sure, I went back and calculated it. It caused me to miss multiple moves recently, as I remember yesterday I also had a pre-market move which played out before I could capitalize on it. Since they all have confirmations I need for with a reaction from a key level and then a 1-minute shift in my favor as well as being in my optimal training time, I could have just entered the setups with confidence. It's just that I realized I kept missing those setups, and as a result I ended up accepting a more subpar setup because I wanted to make up for that loss subconsciously. So in the future I'll do my best to catch these pre-market moves if they are present and confirmed, and if there's no setup I'll just wait patiently until a good setup that meets all my requirement comes. Alright, looking at the high time frame today, price was overall feeling a bit bullish since we were retesting it for our order block and we were trending bearish on the 1 hour there. We did get this down move which whipped the prominent low, and since the formation of the candle was not that strong, this showed me the possibility for both sides and told me that I needed to remain unbiased and flexible today. Looking at the low time frame, we did seem to be moving quite bearish with us developing a 30-minute order block and respecting it for bearish, and we were also inversing 5-minute imbalances which added on to the bias. Though we did have a wick which occurred prior to me hopping on, which also hinted at the possibility of price moving higher if the formation respected this 15-minute order block for bullish. Going into the setup, price was getting a decent sell-off during market open, and we ended up sweeping out the prominent low to the sell side and developed the wick on the 5-minute, and also developed a 15-minute SMT for bullish with NQ lagging. Coming into second macro, price to get a 5-minute change in state delivery with a 1-minute order block retracement which confirmed again, and we got a shift to the buy side. Since we had those confirmations, I was confident in taking the setup, and this trade went on for a while. I did have a nice push up initially with us getting a few pips away from my TP. Their price just started stalling, and waiting another 15 minutes we ended up just missing my TP by not even a pip. Like, please just give me one. For the setup, I honestly did like the setup. I do think that I could have improved the stop loss placement or just maximizing it. Like, yo nah, I ain't doing this shit, man. I got like 4 assignments due and I got work too, so we're just going weekly recap right now, bro. Alright, so that about does it for this week. Honestly, feeling really tired recently. Don't want to complain about it too much because I put all the stuff on my plate, and I do think it's good that it's tiring, as it shows I'm pushing myself. Since I'm going back to uni and work's calling me back more than ever for some reason, even when I just started uni. Also just trying to stay consistent with the backtesting and workouts, runs, all that is just slowly wearing me down with the long nights and little rest. But I'm gonna fuck it out and get through this section because I know that at the end of the day I'm capable of completing all the required tasks, as there's enough time in the day. It's just quite tiring to keep that foot on the pedal all the time. Path's meant to be hard though. It's because it's hard that only the 1% make it through, and I ain't stopping anytime soon, so I'm gonna be that 1%. But yeah, gonna keep it brief, so ending it off with that. So thank you guys so much for watching and have an awesome day. And if you guys are interested, check out me and my friends Discord. It's just a chill place for everybody to talk and grow as traders, and we're all on the same journey to become the traders that we want to become. So join up if you guys are keen. But yeah, that's about it for this one, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.